Hey, hello, and welcome to another installment of Market Update. There's been a lot of things that have been changing, shifting. We have some news today. They came out from the Fed. Looks like the Fed dropped the rate at a half a point. So everybody was expecting about a quarter. But apparently things were not looking as good as they were. They're not as concerned about the inflation as they are about the job market, as job market has been getting smaller and smaller. So people have been losing a lot of jobs. So we're going to touch on overall market, how that's been affecting it, and then we're going to go to your specific area and we'll talk about what's active, what have sold, etc. Okay, so first of all, today is the 18th of September. Welcome back. And if you don't already know who I am, my name is Leo Orzhel. I'm a broker owner of Realty Max. Been doing this for looks like 22 years now, so it's been a long time. Anyway, overall market, just going to give you a synopsis of what's going on. Let me jump here real quick. So as you can see, this market has been interest rate driven. As many of you already know, that in most cases, people don't buy a house based on price. A lot of times they'll buy a house based on payment. So if the payment is reasonable and doable for them, they will go ahead and move forward. Although some people I've been seeing have a payment of $6,000, $6,500, which is, to me, is, I mean, look, if you're making money, you're making money. It just seems like it's a lot of money, and it's, renting versus buying, it has to make sense. And I think a lot of people are, we're at the point where houses have come to a really high peak. And the reason I want to bring this up, because if you look at this mortgage rates, right, this is Freddie Mac rates. And as you can see, let me make it a little bigger so you can see it. Actually, that's as big as we can go. So as you can see right here, we peaked on May 2nd, right? We were about 7.2 or something like that, 7.25. And since that time, you can see that rates have been steadily dropping. We had a bit of an up and down, but in most cases, they've been coming down. As you can see today, they're down to about 6.2. You can probably get a lower rate with the buy down. But one thing that I've seen or observed is, although the rates have dropped, it really has not fueled the real estate market all over again, right? Because you're thinking rates are dropping, payments are getting lower, but I'm not seeing as many buyers coming back to the market as we've seen before. Now, we could be fully at the top. There's just not enough buyers who are willing to pay $6,000, $7,000 a month. A lot of new buyers are also dealing with very high homeowner rates, meaning the insurance has gone up twice and three times in many cases. So we're dealing with that as well. So there's many things being digested. I've also noticed, because the way I look at the market, like I said, although we're San Marcos based and we do most of the work in San Marcos, I have seen, because I've had some other listings outside of San Marcos, like Escondido, for example, and I've noticed there that are lower demand areas, or areas that in less of a demand, have been impacted. In fact, I've noticed that there's definitely less buyers and there's more price reductions for those homes, even though they're maybe in the mid 800s, for example. I'm seeing that all the buyers are really looking for value. I made some notes for myself here, right? They're looking for upgraded home. They're looking for maybe, where it was totally updated. They're looking maybe for a pool, for a view. They really want to have a value-added component. So it's really important before you list your home is, if you obviously want to and you have the money, do something to make it look the best you can. If you are looking to get top dollar, and that's something we talk to our clients and kind of advise them, and we kind of go from there. But ultimately, I've seen some areas of outside of San Marcos, which is doing very well. Carlsbad doing very well. Carmel Valley, Poway, all those areas with high demand are still doing very well. But I have seen some in, for example, outskirts and Escondido, some areas in Oceanside have been seeing some pullbacks. Now, I'm not saying it's an omen, because a lot of times you can look at the less desirable areas, and those areas kind of signal what will come towards the more desirable areas. But again, this is something I want to bring up to you, because I think we need to pay attention to that. Now, do I think the market is going to collapse? I don't think that's going to happen. I am saying softening. There's been some slight breaking in certain areas. Again, some markets doing very well, especially if the house is, shows well, and presents a value. You'll have plenty of buyers coming into it. And especially the way, if you know who I am, you know my system, I do things over the weekend. We're all about creating this enhanced demand by getting all the buyers in at the same time, right? Yes, we price aggressively, but the whole idea behind this is to get you, it's a marketing component. So you want to get as many people as possible. You want to create more bids as possible. You want to create a bit of a bidding frenzy. And ultimately, when buyers bid, you understand there's only one winner, right? And it's usually not the buyer. So my job when I get hired is to get in, get out, get you the highest price, make the most convenient and possibly hassle-free transaction for you, right? And this is what we do. So anyway, so we touched on rates, right? So as you can see here, the rates have gone down, and probably looks like the Federal Reserve probably held the rates high for a little too long. And some people are afraid that we may be going into somewhat of a recession. So we'll see what things happen. Some people think the slowdown has to do with the presidential election. Honestly, I don't remember having this issue last year, but there's something going on. But ultimately, like I said, there's only so much money. At a certain point, things have to make sense for people, because if you can rent a house for $5,000 or you can buy one for, have to pay $6,500, people are going to weigh things out. It's just the way things are, right? Anyway, so that's all I want to say regarding the economy. And now I want to go ahead and jump right into your specific area. So let's look at Rancho Santalina. So we're right next to, obviously, Santa Fe Hills, which is a much bigger community. I started kind of looking at Rancho Santalina. We had some sales there, and it's, if you live there, you already know. It's kind of a area all by itself. It's on the most western northern corner of Santa Fe Hills. It is kind of by itself because they have a bridge. It's somewhat isolated. So when market slows down, we actually see a little more slowdown there than we do, for example, Santa Fe Hills or the new areas around Santa Fe Hills. But I just want to cover some of the things that I have been seeing. So let me click back here, see if I can make myself smaller. Okay, so let's look at some stuff. Currently we have 2 homes that are currently on the market. As you see, 830 Via La Venta. That's been in the market for 70 days. $1,380,000 was the asking price, still there. That was the original price. And there's another one that's just came in the market, and that is 1672 North Las Flores, 5'4", 3335 square feet, $1,299,000. Okay, so I want to speak about the one that's been on the market for 70 days. As you know, my take is always the same. The longer your property stays on the market, the less becomes its perceived value. The number one question that buyers ask agents is always, how long has this home been in the market? And I think you can figure out why that question comes up, right? You can figure that out. The reason it comes up is, people want what everybody else wants. So usually people are willing to pay higher price for things that just came on the market. To me, this listing has already become stagnant. Let me see, just click on some pictures here. We can look at that. So here's the house. It looks like it has somewhat of a jacuzzi. It has a nice view. It looks like original cabinets. So you're looking at this with me as well. Like I said, not very well staged. That's one thing that also matters nowadays. When people buy a home, it's all about how they feel inside. You really want to make the home, you want to stage it the best possible, because, remember, you don't live in it anymore. You're trying to sell it. So you want to make it conducive to everyone who looks at it, right? So this is what it looks like. Pretty typical, right? Nothing major, right? Looks like this area has been redone, remodeled. Overall, like I said, it's a house, right? So this has been on the home for a long time. So we'll see what happens with this thing. Let me see how I go back on this thing. We'll see what happens on this thing. It has been on the market for quite a long time. Let's see who's got it. Okay, I got it. Okay. So anyway, there's another one that came out, as I said, 1672 Las Flores. Slightly smaller home, but not by much. 3367 versus 3335. Let me see. Look at some pictures here for you. Right? A little golf course kind of the situation. Nicely put together, but again, there's no pool. There's nothing. There's a nice sitting area there. So people have put some money into it, right? So let's see. But looks like that's pretty much, looks like they've done the bathrooms. Upgraded that. I mean, some nice stuff on it. But nothing that I consider to be spectacular. There's some nice stuff. So let's close this out here. All right, there one that is pending right now. It's on 927 Hydra. 30 days in the market, right? As you can see, 5-bedroom, 5-bath, and it is 3908. So it's the biggest. I think it's the largest floor plan there. 1,380,000 was the asking price. It went pending 30 days. Let's see what we got here. So this is the house. Just so you can see the difference. You see the wood flooring, right? This house, very nice stage, nice furnishings. All that has an impact on when buyers look at the property. Like it or not, it's just the way things are. So, very nice so far. Things that people are kind of looking for. All right, I think this one has a pool. I think that's what really brought, again, as I told you, value added is really important. So people are looking for that. Let's see here. Almost there. Sorry, a lot of pictures here. Let's see if I can. So here's the pool. So you have a pool, a jacuzzi here. Again, this is a value added component. People are looking for that. So that's what it is, right? So this is 927 Hydra, 1,380,000. Now this one, as you can see on top, the one that's 3367, they're asking the same price. So probably the reason it's been on the market for a while. We had about a few that closed, actually 2 only recently. 964 Via Hacienda is closed. It was on the market for 8 days. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,238 square feet, as you can see here. 965 was the asking price. 995 was the purchase price, right? So it sold pretty quickly. Let me just see this real quick, right? So actually nothing fantastic. Again, we're under $1 million. So that has, as I mentioned to you before, value. Value can be price as well. I'm all about aggressively pricing, bringing in as many people as possible. As you can see, this home has carpet in a bathroom, right? So you think it'd be a problem. But it was priced aggressively, and being priced aggressively generated a lot of offers on this. Let me just close this out and show you this again. Again, this is this one right here, right? So 965, 8 days in the market because ours takes about a week. We got another 30, looks like $1,000 on this thing, right? Another one that closed that was on the market for 53 days, 931 Hydra, closed 729. So was it June, I believe, right? July? Yeah, July. 1299 was the asking price. 1,250,000 was a reduction on it. And you're going to see that anytime you're going to be in the market for a while. I'm not sure if there was any concessions. I can probably look at that really quick and see if there's any there. Let's see. I don't see. Actually, 15,000 price reduction. So actually, this one sold for 15,000 less than what it's showing here. Because here it's showing 1,250,000, so it's 1,235,000, something like that. But again, 53 days in the market, 14 days in the market. 902 Hydra. It was a while back. 5'3", 2,875 square feet. Actually, this is a pretty popular model. Asking price was 1,295,000. They got 1,200,000 on this, right? It was a little overpriced, but like I said, there was more people that wanted. So as you can see, the market is still alive. I mean, it's a smaller area, right? So we're just dealing with a smaller area. Again, if you want to sell the property, there's really two ways of selling. You can overprice it, right, and wait for people for market time to kind of run off, and then maybe you think you're going to drop it down. Ultimately, people are not willing to pay more than what they perceive the property as, and more days you have in a market, the less you're going to get for the property because the perceived value drops. The best way to do it is to be aggressive, have a good agent that's not going to make you take the first offer, and that's why we tried to get all the offers on the table at the same time, so you get to choose which one you want to go with. Plus, it gives you and us more leverage to be able to negotiate a better price for you. So that's all for September. If you have any needs, if you're looking to sell the property, if this is not for you, but you have someone that can be, that this video will help, feel free to share. If you want to give us a like, please do that. If you want to subscribe, do that as well. I always forget to say that. If you have a comment, if you want to hear something else or something different, again, feel free to leave the comment or reach me directly. Okay? Again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.